I have had a great morning, but boy, has it been a busy morning. I have to watch my grandson today, which I absolutely love, but then I just didn't realize I need the full morning to get ready before this YouTube Live because I'm still creating. This is only my second YouTube Live. I typically do it on Facebook, but hopefully you're out there and hopefully I'm out there too. So my name is Colleen Magnus, and I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, independent demonstrator on the East Coast in Virginia, and today you are creating with Colleen. So I come to you live every Wednesday. Typically, I tell you guys, take a break and watch me create. I think I need a break today, but I'm still gonna create. So great, Stephanie's here, so I know we have someone in the house, and Gwen is here too. Thank you ladies for joining. So today is actually January 11th. We know how quick everything ticks by, and what's gonna go by quick also is Sale-a-Bration. So this right now, it's just gonna be once this year. Stampin' Up's biggest sale of the year is Sale-a-Bration. And that's what I'm gonna share with you today is this Adorable Owls stamp set, and we're gonna create a really fun background, and I'm gonna show you how to use some wax paper to do that. I try to incorporate as many products from the kitchen as I can into my stamp room, so at least if I'm not cooking, I can justify everything that I still get. So thanks again for joining me. I am going to turn this camera down, and we're going to get started. So hold, let me, there it is. Put you down. So I do hope you are all having a great morning. And again, mine was a very, very good morning. I just, you know, when you watch your 2-year-old grandson, you just have to play with them. You can't just let them do whatever. So we did. We had a great time. So let me try to, again, it's only my second time here. Let me try to pull myself up on the screen. Praise the Lord. There I am. Okay. So I will try to keep an eye on my comments too. But Gwen and Steph, I'm glad y'all are here. And we are going to make a really fun card today. So I had bought the Aspen dies, and this actually had carried over, and I love it. You can just create all kinds of sceneries for this background. And I love that the trees are going through it. So of course we needed a huge autumn moon for this cute little owl that we have here. And then once I create this, I'm going to show you, we're going to do it again, but I just wanted to show you that this background could be used in all different colors, all different ways, and it's beautiful even if you don't have the trees. But I had bought that, so I had to use it. So let me show you some of the products that I'm using. Again, this is from Sale-a-Bration, and this is called the Adorable Owls. It is a red cling stamp set, and it really is adorable. The owls are fun, fun, fun to color. You can use your markers, you can use blends, you can use inks with blender pens. Anyway, the watercolor pencils, fun and easy to color. So this is what I'm showing you today. And during Sale-a-Bration, which will end February 28th, you can order, place a minimum $50 order, and you will receive this stamp set for free. It can't be bought, it can only be earned, but there's always something you need for the stamp room. So take advantage of that, and you can do that on my creatingwithcolleen.com blog. There you can request my newsletter, and you can also purchase any of the items you want by just simply clicking Shop Now. So what I'm going to do, I am going to, I always take a picture of the dimensions, and I will put that on my Facebook page with this link today, and then my goal is to get it on my blog tomorrow. But the Facebook page I can pretty much put on there with no worries. Blog I have to do a little bit more work. So the Aspen dies actually carried over. They're a carryover item, but from the last, we had our July through December mini catalog. Thankfully, this did, and I was just in love with the dies. So this is on page 46. It's called Perched in a Tree Bundle. So when you're looking at your catalog, if you see the images or the words are highlighted in white, that means that it has a die that coordinates with that. So on the Aspen tree dies, you can see here, the bird coordinates, you have the branch, but then you have these standalone leaves, which are absolutely gorgeous because they emboss and cut at the same time. we have that there. So that is where the Aspen dies came from. And if you don't have that number, since you might have already, you know, this catalog had retired, the Perched in a Tree bundle is 159799. The stamp set is 159791. That's $23. And the Aspen Tree dies are 159798 for $36. But when they said they carried over, I'm assuming it still was in a bundle. So if you have any questions, definitely let me know. But that was $159799, $53 for the dies and the stamp set together. So with that, let me show you how we made this background. You are going to need a piece of 4 1/4 by 11 inch balmy blue. Then you're going to need 2 pieces of the basic white that are 4 inches by 5 1/4. And then you have a piece of soft suede that is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And I promise on the second card I'll show you I didn't go any lower than 1/4 inch. So if 1/8 scares you, don't let it. It's really just a ruler. So I'm going to take these here. I'll put this aside. But this here, on the 4 1/4 by 11, I did score it in half at 5 1/2. So I'll just take my card base and my bone folder and give that a really nice crease. And I can put that aside. So for the Aspen Tree dies, this is the die itself. And I'm going to show you how to cut it in case you're new to stamping and you don't know how our die cutting machine works. What you're going to do is we have the metal images. Let me get my die cutting machine. We have it here and it's so nice, it's compact. I just fold those layers down. And to cut the dies, it comes with actually 2 acrylic plates. And then you have the base plate. Let me get it this way. You have this base plate, number 1. And then you have number 2, which is for die cutting plates. It just gives it that little bit extra thickness you need. So you're going to put those 2 together. Then you're going to put your acrylic plate down. You want to place that down, protect those other plates. And then I'm just going to layer this on here and grab. Sometimes what I like to do is take a Post-it note to make sure it's not going to move. This one's gone through pretty well quite a few times. But I can put it on here, just put a Post-it note. It's going to hold it in place. Put on my other acrylic plate and just put it through. The camera's going to shake a little, but it's all good. Then when I pull this out, I have this piece here, and see, everything is cut. So what I can do, we have our pick-a tool. I should have had it here. And with this, you have these little the brush on the end. So I just took a piece of foam. I have this, and when I go over the edges, the pieces, they all pretty much pop out. There's always one. So now that I have that, I can just brush that to the floor. Have a nice broom up here. And I have my trees. So now I have to make a background. And for the background, I'm going to take one of those pieces of the 4 by 5 1/4 inch basic white. And what I've already done ahead of time, since I want the autumn moon, I actually have the layering circles. So the layering circles are awesome. Mine are all messed up in here. There's 16 dies, so they're not, I've used these and used them again. But you have some circles that are an actual circle, and then you also have scallop circles. So it's nice because they coordinate and layer on each other. But what I've done is I took the circle that's about 2 3/8 inch, and I just cut the circle out. So save this circle. We are going to get into some masking right now. Hey, Miss Barb, I'm glad you're here. So what I'm going to do is, I pretty much cut this the same size as my basic white. And first I'm going to create that moon. So with that, I'm going to take one of our blending brushes, and I'm going to start with Daffodil Delight. In fact, I'll open up. I have Daffodil Delight, Mango Melody, and Pumpkin Pie. So with the blending brushes, I like to just keep it to a color group. So I can use this brush with all 3 shades of the yellow or the orange. I have a separate one for my reds, but these work pretty well. So I'll pick this up, and you want to hold on the base of your card, because if not, your mask can slide. But I'm just going to pick up some of that Daffodil Delight and come in here. And I'm not going over the whole moon. I kind of want like a highlight up here. So I'm going to leave part of that white. And whenever you're doing your moon, now on a moon, I think it would look cool, so it doesn't matter. But when you're using your blending brushes, start light. Because if you go heavy like that, you're going to get some texture. You might not want that. If you want a good, smooth color, start light. I always like to hold the base of the head of the brush because it's so skinny here on the handle. And just kind of come around. But again, I'm leaving a little bit of white there. And you really don't see any marks. So now I'm going to go into the, where did I tell you this was? Good Lord. My label faded. I'm sorry, Mango Melody. So now I'm going into my Mango Melody and make sure I'm still lined up here. And you see that's a little bit more of an orange. So I'm kind of coming along the base here. Oh, got a little bit of that chunk I was telling you about. See, I'll teach you what to do or what not to do. Promise to teach you something. But I think I can blend that in with some of my pumpkin pie. So I'm coming around there, and now I'm going to the pumpkin pie. Dab it off. And I'm going to try to come in here just a little bit darker so it's not as noticeable. And I have those awesome, the aspen tree dyes. I do have those. So, here we go. Got a nice orange autumn moon. Okay, so there's my moon. Let me close these up. Let me see. Marlene says it's a dreary day in Wisconsin. We're chilly here in Virginia, but in the 40s, I believe. We're not going to complain. We are not going to complain about that at all. I hope your day gets better, or that you have a great day, even though it is dreary. So you take this little microfiber, and that's how I clean my brush. So I have my pattern. So now that I have this, I have to mask it because I am going to create a background. So what I'll do here, if you have any kind of repositionable tape, you can use it. But if not, I can use a little bit of this Stamp and Seal, but you'll know how strong it is. So as crazy as it sounds, now that I take that, I'm going to tap it on my jeans. You should always wear jeans when you stamp. You can wipe your hands on your jeans. You could do whatever you want. Okay, so this is a newer pair of jeans, so I got a lot more length than I thought. So let me just tap a little more. Because you just want it to be tacky. You don't want it to be overly strong because it could really rip your paper, believe it or not. So put a little hand right there. So now I'm going to put this over my moon. I'll show you, you could do it this way, or when I do the second card, I'll show you the opposite. So now that I have this, I wanted some texture. I don't know if you can see it through the trees. You'll see it on the other card. But I wanted some texture in here instead of just being soft and dark blues. So what you're going to do, you're going to take your Reynolds Cut Right wax paper, tear yourself a sheet of that, and you can even tear it in half. Now what I'm about to do, you can do with saran wrap. You could do, I've done it with paper towels, which is kind of cool because if you buy the better paper towels, they actually have a pattern with them. And some of the pattern gets on your card. But just wanted to come in here, you're just going to crinkle it up. Not too much. I'm going to take my Balmy Blue. And I'm just going to put some marks in here. And this is going to just break it up from being light, you know, just the softness. So I have that. And again, I think I did it the other way when I did the first one. So we'll do the background first and then the moon on the next one. But I'm gonna come in here with my balmy blue and just rub some blue in here. And I'm just trying to get the this background so you really don't see light. I want some depth in here, which I think the wax paper will give part of that. But keep in mind, this is a background you could use for anything. You could put words on here, flowers. Stephanie, I know you'll be creating this afternoon, and I can't wait to see what you make. So this will come around. Get around your moon really well. And then just to bring a little bit more depth in, I'm going to take some Night of Navy, because I want this to be, you know, not a stormy sky, but a nice dark sky here. So I can just put some of that in here. Actually comes out looking a little more like a purple, because this is a classic ink. So you actually have the balmy blue and the Night of Navy mixing together a little bit. But now that I have this, I can take this off carefully. And here I have my moon. Got that nice autumn moon. So I'll take this piece here. I'm going to go ahead and layer on my trees. I'm living dangerously here. I'm actually running low on my stamp and seal. And if I run out, we'll just switch to liquid glue, so you don't have to watch me change everything. But I'm just going to, actually, let's put this on here. And I'm not going to be able to babysit anymore before I do my lives. Makes you a little frazzled. But again, it was fun. I love that boy. So I'm going to put this on here, and then I could just set this right on top. Let me pull it towards me so I can make sure it's nice and even. I always tell myself close enough counts, but it never does in my stamp room. I always want it as perfect as I can get. Okay, perfect enough. So here I have my trees. And now I'm going to go ahead and do my little owl. So let me grab a scrap piece of Whisper White. Here. You will need that. And I am actually going to stamp in Memento Black because I'm coloring the owl with my blends. So I'm just going to cut two because I'll need, stamp two because I'll need one for the owl card. Now when I colored him, I took the light crumb cake and I actually colored pretty much everything except the eyes in here. So I like using the broad end if you have an extremely light hand. If you don't, then use the fine end. And here's how you know. When you're looking at your blends, the fat end is the brush end. This little line is your fine tip. So of course the fine tip is great to use in little bitty places. But anybody who stamps with me knows I am a fan of a very light hand, and that'll save your tips. So I'm just going to come around like so. And then I will come in with my dark because I just want to have some light and darks in here. So I'm going to kind of come around the eyes, kind of frame his face this way, and then around here, and of course the little tips here. We can bring some darkness in. So when I have this, I'm going to go to my fine tip, and I like to color the ears a little dark too in the top. But then I come back with the fine tip of the light crumb cake, and I can blend this. and it just softens that line coming around. So I have to say the blends are probably my most favorite way to color. Kind of easy to get it right. They make it easy for you. So now I'm going to come in with my, let me get some balmy blue, because he's so cute with pretty blue eyes. Plus it'll pick up the balmy blue from the card. And a little bit of dark right there. So I have here, what do I have here? Petal pink. We're going to put a little bit of petal pink in the ear, let me get that right. And then a light pumpkin pie right here in the nose. And of course on the feet. So with this, I'll take my paper snips, cut them off for later. And I'm just going to come around. Normally I leave a little bit of a white edge, but on this guy, I do kind of want to cut right on the outside of the black edge because he's going up against a dark background. Normally it doesn't matter. So let me come around. Y'all talk amongst yourselves while I'm cutting. What's everybody been up to? What has your morning looked like? I'll have to look on my comments, but I know Lynn is here, and again, Marlene. Thank you, Marlene. It's a fun background to make. I was looking, I used to do scrapbooking, scrapbook clubs, and we actually made a background with the wax paper before. That's part of why I was frantically running around. I was looking for that. But I will post it on my blog, a picture of it, when I find it, because it's not just for cards. You know, we think we have to use designer paper for everything. You can create any type of a background or paper that you need. And it's just a fun way to do it. So again, try it with paper towels. Try it with saran wrap. You're going to get a softer crease by using saran wrap because it's not as coarse or as hard as the wax paper. But it'll all turn out pretty. So y'all's homework today is to give it a try. You never know till you try. One more little cut. And as I was telling you, I like to cut on the line with him. So if I did have any white, a little trick what you could do is to just take the light crumb cake. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry to hear that, Barb. She said her and her husband Moose have been sick for a week. Finally getting better. Yes, definitely get better. I think everybody's going to catch something at some point, but don't hold on to it. Try to get through it as quick as you can. But I just kind of color the outside. So if I did have any little light places, I wouldn't have that anymore. So here I am going to take my dimensionals. Yeah, our family was sick over the holidays. We did so good. None of us have had COVID in this house until right after Christmas. Thankfully, our symptoms were mild. And sadly, Tyler and I are still working on that taste thing. It's no fun eating food when you can't fully taste it. But again, we were blessed and we're getting better each and every day. And now I guess we can't say we've never caught it because we have. So here I've got my little owl. And for here, it's your day. I'm going to take another piece of scrap paper. Where do I have it? Let me see some extra. Okay. Good. I'm glad I had that scrap. So this is about a 1/2 inch wide. And I'm going to take the Night of Navy. And you have some cute little sayings in the owl set. You have, my friend, it's your day. Hoot, hoot. You're so cute. Let me get that little mask off of there. So it really is a fun set. So I'm going to take, in the Night of Navy, it's your day. And I'm going to stamp like that. And then I'm just going to cut it into a banner. So to do so, I'm just going to trim this side here. And then I'm going to come over on this side. And to do a banner with your scissors, it's really easiest just to cut up the middle and then go from corner to center, corner to center. And it'll come out pretty quick. If you try to cut this way and then this way, you'll probably eat up your whole piece because you're going to keep trying to get it right, and it might not happen. So now I'm going to take, I was going to sponge this, but sometimes I think the sponging is just too dark. So I'm going to take the brush tip and just come around here and just put a really thin line. I really like doing this a lot of times because it sets your piece apart. I like depth in my card, and I feel like if I just put a white piece on there, it might be too flat. So I have that there. Let me see if you can see it. I don't know if you can or not. And then I am going to just make it into a banner. And I was wondering what I had my glue dots for, and I was being efficient and cleaned up. Oh, no, no, no. Here they are. Since I did kind of make this curvy, I'm just going to put it on with the glue dot. I think it'll hold really well. So I will just take the glue dot on this side, and then one where it's bent, because that's the other part that hits my card. And I'll put this here. I bend it up a little bit, and this will mail fine. But when I put a banner on a card, I really like to have it look like a banner. So this is the front of the Adorable Owls, and I'll show you how pretty it is the other way too. So now that I have this, I need something for the inside. So I have my, let me see, this was, yes, same size, 4 by 5 1/4 piece. And since it's your day, I didn't really want to put any sayings on the inside, but I wanted something. So I went ahead and I just did a whole piece of this, this background technique with the wax paper because I wanted to put something in here, and I didn't want to do one strip. That would just make it complicated, especially when I know I'm going to use it more than once. So I just have this already done. I'm going to take, let's go, 1/2 inch might be too thick. Let's go like a 3/8. And I'm just going to cut a strip of this. And then I'm going to, I made it longer so it's easier to put on. You could put it where you want. Plus it would drive me crazy if it was just barely off. Anybody who knows me knows that's true. So what I like to do is just put this on my card, across here. And you could if you want. I wasn't going to be that technical. But if you wanted to put it on here, it's great to have Stampin' Up! Grid paper because then you can line it up on each side of the line above it and get it straight. I always say I had a drafting eye. I used to have to draft to like 1/1000th of an inch because we were doing AutoCAD. So I just eye it. But now that I have a little something on there to kind of tie the front to the center, right here. So this is a card when you're using the Aspen dies. That one there's a little darker. And I love the Aspen dies, but let me show you how pretty it is just to make it into, you know, use it as the background itself. So now I'm going to go the opposite. And I think it's like two-step stamping. You just need to try it. Some people like to stamp the solid image first and then the detail. Some stamp the detail, then the solid. You know, same here. So I actually made the moon first, but let me show you. Let me clean my mess up here and show you how to do this card. And we'll just do the opposite just so you can see it both ways. So for this card, you're going to need 4 1/4 by 11 balmy blue. And then you are going to have 2 pieces of basic white. I kept it to 1/4 inch on this one. So 3/4 by 5 right here. 4 by 5 1/4 Night of Navy. And then you're going to need a strip. And I made them a little bit longer, so the length doesn't matter as much. But the basic white is 1/2 inch by 5 inches. And the Night of Navy is 3/4 by 5. So those are my parts. So for this one, we'll start again with the background. I can take my card base, that's scored at 5.5. So I just want to crease that and I can set it aside. All these pieces here. And I will take my basic white. So I didn't want the huge harvest moon since I'm not going to be covering it up with the trees. So I used another size circle that I have in my layered circles. And this one measures about 1 7/8. So I've already taken it out, put a little adhesive on the back. Let me just do a little more, make sure I got it. Let me see here. Okay. Put your fingers on it so it's not too terribly strong. And let me see where I want this. I can just eye this one. I'm going to put it about right here. I think that looks pretty good. So again, go into that awesome wax paper. Grab your piece, crumple it up. And I'm going to start with Balmy Blue. So I'm coming in here, putting some texture. You never know when to stop, but there is a fine line, so be careful. Then I will take the blue blending brush. Let me make sure I got the Night of Navy out of it. And just come in here with my Balmy Blue. And you can even rub it in here to get that Balmy Blue, beautiful color. Don't forget to go around your moon. Now you can change your colors to oranges and lighter colors, and you can definitely make this a sun. It works the same way whether it's a sun or a moon. They're all God's lights. So I'm getting in here. All right. Almost there. So I kind of do like to cover the whole thing in the Balmy Blue, and then I'm going to go to the Night of Navy. And I'll try to pull some of that Balmy Blue out of there so I can keep to the true Night of Navy color. So come in here and get a little bit of dark going on. Not too much though. Okay, but these two colors do go really well together. So now that I have my background, I'm going to take this off. And of course I have this dark white moon. So I'm just going to do just the opposite of what I did before. And I am going to take the Mango Melody, the Pumpkin Pie, and the Daffodil Delight. Steph's been doing backgrounds with painter's tape. Yep, we have done that before too, and that's a lot of fun. You could do so much stamping on just, oh my gosh, on just anything with backgrounds. Now let me tell you a tip, because you know I always try to teach you what to do or what not to do, and you know I promise to teach you something. If you have a mask, this was the original mask. If I thought, oh well, I can use this mask and I'll just do blue on the inside, you really don't want to do that, because what does blue and yellow make? Green. And what happens is, since this is classic ink and it's a water-based ink, you will activate it as you're going around with the other ink. So in between your colors when you're masking, always make a new mask to get the true color. That, my friends, is experience talking. So when I'm putting my moon on here, and remember, hold your paper down here so you've really got that underneath piece anchored in there. Coming in here with my Daffodil Delight. Again, on the edges, but leave a little bit of white. Then I'm going to go into the Mango Melody. Just a little bit more of an orange, kind of in the center, because then I'll just try to keep that pumpkin pie on the edge there. And my pumpkin pie. See, I go lighter so I didn't get that big blotch like the last time. But there, let me close these up and I'll show you the moon. All right. So then you have your moon. So the colors, I think, altogether, it really does make for just a really, really pretty background. Now what I'm gonna do, I am typically, again, being that drafter, I like everything symmetrical, but I thought, why would it have to be? Why can't I put this on an angle? So that's why I cut them a little bit longer, because you're not gonna know the exact length you need. But I wanted to use one for happy birthday, because I haven't made a lot of birthday cards last year, and I'm gonna make up for that today. But basically, I'm using the artistically inked stamp set, because I just love that basic happy birthday that is in there. Hey, Miss Diane, how are things in Florida? I'm sure they're beautiful and warmer than it is here today. So I'm going to take my Night of Navy. So glad you could watch today. I'm going to take Happy Birthday. I'm going to bring it towards me so I can hopefully get it in the center, but I am going to stamp it in the middle. So now that I have that, I'm going to take the 3/4 inch strip of the Night of Navy and just put this on top. So I'll just center it. It doesn't matter about my edges, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it across, and that's why you don't really have the right angle. So just make it longer, and then we will trim that up. But I have to say, the more I play with this little Adorable Owls stamps, really is cute. So I'll put this here. Take my scissors, and to me it's always easier to turn it over, because I can see exactly where I'm cutting. And that, and that. So there's my front of my card. Then I'm going to take the 4 1/4 by 5 1/4 Night of Navy. And put this here. And the nice thing is, with this being just a 1/4 inch bigger, the Night of Navy just ties in really well on the sides. This will go on the front of my card base. So even though I love the Aspen dies, I think they're adorable, I like this too because I can see the background. So one of the new embellishments we have, it's called Pastel Adhesive Backed Sequins. And I love everything that is actually already has adhesive on it. So Balmy Blue are one of the sequins that we have. And I'm going to take, I think I'm going to use the smallest ones. I really like those. But I like to have, you know, you got to put bling on here someplace if you can. So I'll put this right there. And then I won't take the time to color the other one. Let me finish the inside. There again, just take a piece of this. It's a little bit longer, so it works for both sizes. Come in about 3/8. And you can use designer paper when you're doing this little strip, or really anything that you want to go across the bottom. You just don't want any naked envelopes or any naked insides, if you can help it. But for this one, since I know it is a birthday card, I'm going to stamp something on the inside. The other one saying it's your day, I could leave that open because I don't know what day would it be. Are they retiring? Are they, is it their birthday? Are they graduating? I have a little freedom if I don't actually stamp something on the inside. So there's my inside. And the two words that I wanted to use, of course, I can use it's your day, but I wanted to use the hoot hoot, hoot I wanted to use that. So I have two options. I can take it and take my Night of Navy marker, and by using the side, I'm going to just color part of the stamp. Now the thing here you have to remember, this really won't work with your blends because blends are an alcohol marker and they dry quickly. The Marvelous markers are just like your classic inks and the pads. So they're great to have for many reasons. But I can just stamp that. I think my lip touched it. Hold on. Don't get it too close when you huff it. And when I say huff, okay, I'm like, and the moisture from my breath is getting on the stamp and bringing this ink to life. So here I'll just say, hoot hoot. It's your day. Not hoot hoot, you're so cute, because hopefully they're cute. But I'd just like to say, hoot hoot, it's your day. And that's one way that I got part of the stamp. Let me show you another way. If you don't have the markers, you can actually, I'll do it just on here as a sample. You can actually just take some clear tape and mask that off the stamp. So I'm actually putting it on the bottom right here. Now let me show you what not to do, because this has happened before. I'm going to take this and I'm going to stamp it. If you have that on there and you go to stamp it, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, what happened? What is that? So you want to take that tape off first. And the only reason I show you is because it's happened, and it actually took a minute to figure it out. But if I take it off, then I just have hoot hoot. That was already there. But then I just, once again, have just the words that I need. So if you have the markers, that of course is the easiest way. But if not, you can actually mask on your stamps by just removing that bottom. So here we have, let me give you this one. So I'm not going to, I'll wait to color this and put it on here since I already have my sample. But here you have the happy birthday. And put yourself some Wink of Stella on the moon because you want a nice shiny moon. And I also did it on the eyes. And then hoot hoot, it's your day. And then you also have the aspen tree dies. And I love it. I could not wait to get these because they are beautiful, because you can make any scene behind it. You can take the reindeer that we have and put them in there. And then I just left that blank. So as I said, Sale-a-Bration is only good through February 28th, and supplies are only while they last. So if you would like to place an order, you can get the Adorable Owls stamp set for free with a minimum $50 purchase. And you can do that by going to creatingwithcolleen.com and selecting purchase now, buy now. Hit that button. You can also request my newsletter. I send a newsletter every week, and I would love to keep you informed on what's going on with Stampin' Up! And last but not least, I love that you have all left comments. So if you would leave a comment, I'd love to hear from you. But also subscribe to my channel and ring the bell, click the bell, and you'll be notified when I do other videos. And I'll draw a name. And we'll go ahead and I'll send you one of the It's Your Day cards. So I hope you all have a blessed day. I will be back. I'm going to keep trying to do the YouTube lives, but I will put all of this on my Creating with Colleen Facebook page, and within the next 24 hours, the creatingwithcolleen.com blog. I'll put it on there too. But everything I do is Creating with Colleen. So I hope you'll come back and join me. For those who came, Ramona, thank you, and Diane, Stephanie, and Marlene, and Barb, Lynn. You gals are all great. Steph, thank you so much for following me and joining me. I really do appreciate it more than you know. So Gwen, you take care, and all of you have a blessed day. Make sure you do something creative and have fun. Try this background. Try it in different colors and all that you make. You'll have a great time. Thanks so much. I will see you all next Wednesday at noon Eastern time so we can create during lunch again. Take care now. Bye-bye.